Lumber and Alley, Local 38. This contractor's being unfair to the labor here.
Do you think there's a danger of this spreading to other buildings if they get away with it?
Oh, it's in the building trades. There's a lot of this. I don't want to say rampant homophobia, but there is a lot of. You see the graffiti on the walls, or if you're at a safety meeting, people make comments that it's not falling in with the times today. You know what's going on in the real world. You know,
do you think the union should take a stand against that?
Oh, our locals are, and it's not just here. You know, it'll be at other buildings that the general here is, taking that attitude out. And then if you look here, this mural's all about pro-labor. Not far from here, people died in the longshoremen strike in '34. Every Labor Day, I rewatch the Harry Bridges documentary on KQED, and it's something where labor isn't respected anymore. They look at us like we're thugs or something, and so we just want fair treatment for everyone, you know?
Larry Mazzola, Plumbers Union, Local 38. We're having a little show of force against a contractor that is undercutting the wages in this area and the fringes in this area. The contractor has also made some disparaging remarks to our picketers, homophobic slurs and gestures, and the Labor Council came together today and said, no, we're not going to put up with this in San Francisco. This is a union town, and this building right here that the non-union workers are working in are actually working in a hotel that was funded by union pension funds. So this building was built with union pension funds money, members' money, and we're demanding that they throw this contractor off this job and replace him with a union signatory that's going to pay the right prevailing wage area standards to the workers as they deserve.
Matt Haney, District 6 Supervisor. There's a non-union contractor here that isn't paying prevailing wage, that also has been threatening people, has been not treating people with respect, has actually been using homophobic slurs, and so I'm here to stand with the unions. I'm here to stand up for economic justice.
Why would they be doing that? Slurs against gays and lesbians?
Well, it's disgusting. It should have no place in our city. And anytime there's hatred that's expressed towards any group, LGBT folks or anyone else, we should come out and stand against it.
If they are successful in operating non-union, does it threaten all the trades? Does it threaten all the unions if they're successful?
Well, I think the union contractors are always the way to go, but if you're going to use a non-union contractor, there's certain standards that you have to abide by. There's certain laws that you still have to follow, like prevailing wage, when you're doing work on a place like this. And so, we're here to say we're looking at it, we're taking it seriously, and I think it's unacceptable if that's what they're doing.
Kim Tavoloni, San Francisco Labor Council. We are out here protesting Centric, who use very derogatory, homophobic terms when talking to unionized workers, and we're out here to tell Vitale and anyone else who hires Centric Contracting that they need to go. There's no room for homophobia in San Francisco.
My name is Chase Boudin. I'm the District Attorney of San Francisco, and I'm here because I stand with the oppressed. I stand with people who have been oppressed and who have a right to unionize, a right to a contract that pays them a living wage, and who have a right to not be discriminated against because of their sexual orientation or personal lifestyle choices.
Yeah. You think that's happened here? Are you investigating?
We're not actively investigating. I haven't heard any allegations of criminal conduct, but certainly if there are allegations that amount to criminal conduct, my office would look into that. And I'm here because I believe in solidarity, because I believe it's critical that we stand with each other in the face of oppression.
Now, there's some incidents of hanging nooses that have taken place in San Francisco, in the buildings. What do you think about hanging nooses being put up in buildings and workplaces in San Francisco?
It's outrageous. It's an anathema to our values as a city. It's racist. It's unacceptable. And And it's shocking that at this point in our history, after the murder of George Floyd, after the Black Lives Matter summer, we would still have people who think that it's appropriate or acceptable to express themselves in that way.
You think that's because of the national atmosphere, that it's acceptable to be racist?
I think Trump left this country with a lot of damage, and I think he empowered and emboldened a lot of racists and a lot of people who came out of hiding and started expressing themselves in ways that are really offensive to me personally and to all of us as San Franciscans.
There's a campaign to recall you. Some of the people are Trump supporters. Do you think it's politically motivated?
Absolutely. It's very clear what's going on here. The Republican Party of San Francisco has endorsed the recall against me. The Democratic Party has opposed it. The major donors are Republicans. The ACLU is opposing the recall. This is clear what's happening, and it's because we're following through on exactly the promises I made to the voters that got me elected. Criminal justice reform, ending money bail, prioritizing mental health treatment, standing with people like at this rally today in support of LGBTQ rights, in support of housing and fair contracts for workers. That's why the big money investment bankers, that's why the folks who are behind some of these gig economy companies that are cutting corners, stealing from their workers, systematically misclassifying their workers, are putting up hundreds of thousands of dollars, now millions of dollars, to try and recall me.
There have been some issues of racism, systemic racism in the city and county of San Francisco, incidents where workers have been attacked, not only verbally but physically, and also documents have been forged. Why aren't there any prosecutions of these officials that are doing these in the government?
There are, as a matter of fact. In one instance, at least, since I took office, we filed a criminal case against someone from the Department of Human Resources who forged a document.
Who was that?
I don't recall her name, but it was a case involving an allegation of racial discrimination that was working its way through DHR, and the employee forged documents suggesting that the city had agreed to settle the case when the city had not agreed to settle the case. Because those documents were forged, we did file criminal charges.
We got